the reading of Carpenter's works as westerns because I think it's really quite interesting. It's certainly something I hadn't considered previously, but I don't want to rush you on that either. So let me set this up. What would be a good song? Anamorphosis. Anna becoming Anna? I don't know. I mean, I guess I would take it. Uh, Post traffic. I think we've listened to that one before. Align, aligning, align. I know it says blinding. I know it says blinding, but I just want to be kind of goofy. Let's go with abandoned house. Abandoned house sounds pretty cool. Us, LP, absolutely. Um, you know where to track me down if you need me, and you could. There's other folks here that I'm sure that you can track down as well. If you need a friendly ear to listen to, give our well wishes to your friend. It sounds like she's got an awful lot of stuff on her plate, and I'm really glad that you're there supporting her. Rabbit says anamorphous is a visual effect that only works from a specific vantage point. That's interesting. I did not know that thing. But I am hold on a second. Kronos? Did Kronos say something? I like to imagine process game design akin to making a sandwich. Oh my god. Ludo! Kronos! Did you plan that? I am going to take a 5-minute break. I really need to get some water down my throat. I need to stretch a little bit. I'm going to look at this scotch, but I don't know if I'm actually going to drink it. I might just give it the hairy eyeball. But if you need this time to take your... Oh, jeepers, Ludo, jeepers, Ludo! If you need this time to have a little bit of soup, some sandwich, a spade or a shovel, or just the fact to know that you're loved, please take these 5 minutes and we'll be right back. Oh, how do I play this music? X, right? There we go. Cool. We'll be back. Alright, let's, what did I miss? Oh my god. Were there more food puns? There were more food puns. But I wanna get back to Pandas. Panda says about Carpenter, his films trend towards ends of eras and unstoppable change, which are core themes of westerns. That's not wrong, Panda. That's an interesting read on it. Like, I still don't... Maybe because I don't... sorry, I had a little bit of a burp there, it was gross. I don't really know a lot about westerns as a genre, but that's an interesting read of his works, because his films, a lot of his films, I don't know if I would say a majority of his films, but definitely like the Apocalypse trilogy, it deals with that kind of thing. Ends of eras and unstoppable change. What else? What did I miss? Panda says it's an analogy you can really sink your teeth into. Oh, so we're still on sandwiches there. It's food for thought, something to really chew on. Why? Probably nobody is asking for it, but the BGM is made in-game and can be heard here. Yes, LBP has a dedicated music tool. And yes, like, I never got good with LBP's music tool. I played around with it a little, but music is just not, like, whatever strengths I happen to have, they're not in doing music. But there are, like, there's samples of different instruments, and you can kind of set them up as a coherent track. the the music creating scene in LBP, like that side of it, some of those creators are really very good. The J side music's hi, brain meats, word things out of the mouth, please. The J side creators dealing with music were exceptional, and I really have enjoyed their work a lot. It's not like the tools are not as robust as the tools available in Dreams, which I think probably could be said about like most aspects of creation in LBP, but I feel like they are far more accessible than the Dreams music kit. Because the Dreams music kit is really robust. Like, there's a lot going on in it, and because there's a lot going on in it, it's really easy to screw up, honestly. Panda says apparently Carpenter really likes westerns and wanted to make them, but got pigeonholed into horror most of the time. That's understandable. I mean, it's a shame, and I know that Carpenter has done some work, not very much, but some work that is outside of that pigeonhole. I just wishing for somebody who is a creative force. I wish that he had had the freedom to make what he wanted, but producers were, paying him to do a certain type of thing, and he excels in that area. At the very least, he does excel in that area. I really want to watch In the Mouth of Mental Ill Health again. It's ableist, like the title is ableist, and also it's drawing on Lovecraft, so there's that whole argument and discourse tied into it, but I think that it's a really solid movie, and Sam Neill like nails it out of the park on that. Also Charlton Heston, but this was NRA era Charlton Heston, so gross, kind of gross. He's kind of gross, but there's that. Let's see. Hive says the interesting thing is, those are the core themes of a specific movement of westerns. There's a whole era of westerns that romanticize the lawless expanse of early West, a more end of an era kind of mentality when societal concerns were permissive, and then we have the revisionist westerns that are even harder into that. Huh. Okay. See, I'm learning all kinds of stuff here. I'm learning I could be surprised into F-bombs. So, that's the thing. It's not the first time it's happened, but Ludo says, I'd argue that genre as a concept works through signifiers in all media. I'm doing the thing with my hands, which makes no sense because you can't see my hands, but genre as a concept works through signifiers in all media, and while theme is one of those signifiers, it's often not enough to make something that genre. Then again, genre classifications are fluid and highly subjective, so if one wants to see them as Western, I totally can see why. I would have to scroll back up to Panda's original comment. Like, if people are seeing Carpenter's movies as Westerns, or if they're seeing the trends of Westerns in Carpenter's movies. Let me take a quick, see if I can find the comment itself. I'm seeing other happy comments, which are good. Blurst. I saw Blurst. Okay, so Panda's comment was more specific in that regard. I like the reading of his work where it turns out all his movies are westerns. Okay. Yeah, I think it's absolutely an interesting lens to look at Carpenter's work through. I kind of question, because Carpenter has so much. Like, Carpenter has done so much work that, like, there's a lot that doesn't fall into that realm. Like, it's not touching on those themes. Like, I don't think that you could read Halloween in those themes. Or those themes in Halloween would maybe be a better way to put it. In fact, Halloween, but that's kind of tough, because, I mean, you look at Halloween as kind of one of the seminal works of slashers. So, more of a start of an era than an end of an era, but that's something that's applied post-production. Like, that's something that people applied after the movie was made. That may not have been something that Carpenter saw it as. I wonder about Christine. I mean, Christine, Carpenter's working with an established license, I guess is the word. Like, it's a King book, and King has got his own issues, and those issues kind of need to be dealt with beyond whatever spin that Carpenter puts on them. But, I mean, you could kind of... I mean, you could kind of see Christine as a hearkening back to an era that has already passed, and the toxicity of that era. I mean, King is weird. Like, I don't know if I want to fork this discussion too deep into that territory, but King has definitely got nostalgia glasses, but they're jade green nostalgia glasses. Like, he sees the past, but I think he presents it as both nostalgic and toxic at the same time. Like, Christine, it's hard to read Christine as anything, at least superficially, as anything but a very cynical look at car culture. I mean, it's like, that's the thing. That is what it is. And the passing of that particular era of car culture is the nostalgia side of it. I feel like I feel like to do this justice, I would really need to kind of sit down with it and really think about it, and probably also watch Christine again. Except last time that I tried to watch Christine, it was pretty gross, honestly. Like, it was like, yeah, there's a lot of gross in Christine. It's era appropriate, but it didn't make for a comfortable viewing. And I think I cut off around like 20 minutes into the movie the last time I tried to watch, so that's might be a bit harder to get into than I would like. But what do we got? What have I missed? Because I was just talking, and we know that when I talk I can't like look at chat anymore because it's just I can't focus. Hive says, if you want to see something about genre as a concept working through signifiers, check out Traced in Error by Cynic. as it was originally released, and the remaster of Trace and Error that changes one or two signifiers and therefore completely changes the genre of the album. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I don't know if I have the language to really, like, grapple with that, Hive, but I really... Give me a second. I need to make a note. If I don't make a note, I won't remember. Because that's who I am. What do we got? Traced in Air by Cynic. Because I should give that a listen. Honestly, I'll be like 100% honest with y'all. Like, at least 75% of the recommendations that y'all toss up, and I appreciate these recommendations, let me tell you, I honestly do, but I said honestly 3 times in one sentence. Oh my, that's okay. Obviously, brain meats are going away, but I don't get to them. I don't, like, it usually takes like 3 or 4 times to recommend something to me before it finally sinks into my brain that I need to watch or listen to this thing. But at least I've got it. It's in red, and it's in red and thick red, not thin red. So maybe that'll help with me. I've got a note here that says Dream Hazard makes patches. Now at least I know what that note means, but like, even still, by next month I won't. By next month that note will be gone. Like, the note will be here, but my brain meats will have no idea how to interpret it. Halloween's about the breakdown of stability in suburbia, a kind of end of era to safety and white flight the suburbs to maintain that safety. I've got my thinking cap here on. I want you to know that the silence is indicating that I put the thinking cap on. Am I? Does that? Yes? I mean, that tracks. That 100% does track. And for the time period as well, it does track. That's not unfair. Like, that is, I think that's a pretty solid read there. Ludo says, I only watched about 12% of Carpenter's work, so it's hard to make any decisive arguments about his oeuvre. Oeuvre? I mean, Ludo, let's be straight up here. I started watching horror movies when I was 6 years old? 8 at the latest? We shouldn't get too deep into the gore of horror movies. I think that would be probably a mistake, but I think horror for kids, at least for certain types of kids. Hi, me. Hi, young me. Hello. You should have been cuter. I think that horror can be a way for kids to explore the world, and depending on the director, of course, depending on the genre as well. Like, there was definitely with the horror that I grew up with, that yes, everything was scary, yes, everything was terrifying, but a lot of times things were oh my god, Hive, nice call. Like, a lot of times things were grappleable. Like, even if you knew, because, you know, this was Nightmare on Elm Street 3, so probably there's gonna be a Nightmare on Elm Street 4, but like, generally speaking, the protagonists in the movie have some kind of agency. They're able to push back the darkness in some way, you know, defeat Jason or Freddy or Michael Myers, or escape from the zombies, although, like, that's a little bit of a different you know, that's more of an existential kind of thing because there's no real escaping from the zombies, but, you know, even in Romero's movies, usually they got away at the end. So I think that, like, horror is an oddly kid-friendly genre. As, like, as non-kid friendly as the images that horror can put up on the screen, that a lot of times there's an underlying message of horror that, like, you can deal with these problems. You can defeat them, at the very least escape them, in a way that's, like, much more decisive than other genre. So I don't think that horror by necessity is not family friendly. Oh my gosh, kittens! And Andrew! Oh, hey! We were like, a talk was happening, and, you know, like it just happened. So I didn't see you when you came in. Oh, and pandas, sleep well. If you're going to sleep, sleep well. I'm getting buffering on the stream again. Fingers crossed, things don't explode, because, you know, I would rather they didn't. There's been a lot. I wasn't planning to talk about alcohol anymore tonight, Hive. But yes, like, we can definitely, like, put a yellow card on alcohol talk. That's certainly fair. Pandas asleep defeats me, but where I fall, two more take my place. Like a Hydra. Like, I mean, literally, like a Hydra. So much has happened. This blurst. This stream is blessed and cursed, and I'm loving tonight. Tonight is so good. Kittens, Andrew, are you both well? Is everything, like, not that I expect anything to not be well, but, like, just because, you know, I worry. Like, life is good. It treats you with the gentleness and the kindness that you deserve, because it darn well better, or else I'll go over there and give life a good. I want to say that I would give life a right hook, but honestly, I mean, I'm not really good at that. So hold L1 and R1, 5 seconds to end game. Gotcha. Andrew says I'm doing well. We're on a voice call, and Kittens is putting up with my shenanigans.